Well, hello, the following 7-minute long video is made expressly for the Nerd Gym Online members. If you are not a member of the Nerd Gym Online, you're still welcome to watch the video, but it's going to make very little sense to you. So why am I posting this on my social media? Because I work with lots of busy folks, and sometimes it's easier to catch y'all while you're on your favorite social media platform rather than just when you come to the Nerd Gym Patreon hub. So without further ado, here's the video for Nerd Gym members. If you're not a member and you're interested or curious, you can go to www.thenerdgym.com to sign up for the full program. Here we go. What is up, friends? In today's video, I'm going to share with you how do you know if you're ready to move up to level 2. So one of the things that I highly recommend doing is making sure that you do the level 1 for at least a couple of cycles. After that, if you're wondering, gee, you know what? These all seem pretty easy. I think I'm ready to move up to the next level. This is where you want to actually give yourself a little bit of a test. And there are 18 exercises in level 1, 18 fundamental multi-joint exercises. What I would challenge you to do is to go through and video yourself doing just a couple of reps of each and every one of those exercises with your best form. I don't care how heavy you're going or how many reps you're doing, just a couple of good reps with really good form. Now, you might be able to look at this yourself and say, hey, I can see what I'm doing wrong or where I need improvement, or hey, I'm doing great and I'm ready to move on to the next level. But if you want extra help with this, you can take that video then, upload it as a unlisted video on YouTube, send me the link in Patreon, and I will happily review your exercises in level 1 and let you know what my feedback is to help you move on to level 2. Now, one of the questions that I get pretty frequently on this program is, what if I'm able to do, like, you know, most of the level 1 stuff, but I'm missing a couple? The answer to that is I highly recommend, unless there is some actual physical limitation, like a missing limb that is preventing you from doing an exercise, get proficient at all of the exercises in level 1 before moving on to level 2, even if some of them are easy and some of them are hard. Then when you move into level 2, you will have the foundation necessary to get a good start into that level 2. And even if those level 2 exercises are too hard when you first get started, they will get easier as you get it going, and then you can figure out when you're ready to move on to level 3. But I'll do that in a separate video. So without further ado, let me show you what it would look like to do a self-assessment video for all 18 of the level 1 exercises. Go ahead and open up your program and take a look at those exercises, and I will pop them up on the screen and just do a couple of reps of each. Okay, here we go. Kicking it off, we have a two-handed shoulder press. So things we're looking for on the two-handed shoulder press is that we are beginning with the forearms parallel, regardless of what type of weight we're using. We're going to get all the way up over the crown of the head. Nice straight line from wrist to heel. Number 2, squeeze press. Now I'm doing all this with my phone with minimal camera angles because I figure you will probably be doing the same. We're going to bring it down for our squeeze press, actively squeezing the dumbbells together, keeping the elbows close to the sides, nice full range of motion, bringing the dumbbells to the chest. Next up is chest press, so elbows slightly out towards the sides, but still pointing down towards the hips and keeping the neck nice and long. We don't want those shoulders shrugging up. Next up, we're going to work on our hinged stick up. So for this one, we want to make sure that we are hinging at the hips and getting the thumbs from the shoulders all the way out until the biceps are right next to or on top of the ears. So we want a nice straight line from fingertips to hips on this exercise. One arm row from a chair or a stable piece of furniture. If you happen to have a workout bench, anything that you can put a hand on, we're going to get a nice neutral spine, slight bend in the knees, and we're bringing that elbow straight up to the ceiling, keeping the arm tight to the body for this one. Next up, we're going to demonstrate the underhand row. So this underhand row, the palms are facing out away from the body. We still have that nice hip hinge position with a slight bend in the knees and a neutral spine, bringing those dumbbells all the way up to the ribs. Next up, the squat. Body weight squat today for the level 1 stuff. We just want to see that you can get down into a full range of motion. That is hips below the top of the knee. Hips below the top of the knee, making sure those knees are not collapsing inwards. Next, leg extension. We want to see 90 degrees at the hips and a nice straight leg extension so that the leg is parallel with the floor on each rep. Next up, we're going to work on our sumo squat. So sumo squat, we want a nice wide stance, toes pointed slightly outwards, knees in the same direction as the toes, coming down to about 90 degrees at the knees on this one, keeping the chest and chin up. We don't want to fold forward on our sumo squat. Next up, hip raise. So this one is down on the floor. If getting on the floor is difficult for you, this is one of the things we should definitely work on before moving on to level 2. All right, hip raises. We just want to make sure that the crease of the hip is totally flat on each lift. Same thing with the one leg hip raise, which we have one leg up in the air, but the downward facing hip, we want to make sure that that hip goes all the way till the hip crease is straight. We don't want a bent hip at the top. Frog pumps, heels together, knees out to the sides, and raising those hips up to the sky. Again here, looking for that altitude, making sure we're getting them up high enough. Next up, bird dog. So for bird dog, I found this one a little difficult to fit into my camera frame here, but that's okay. The main thing we need to see is that you are getting your limbs straight out and that you have decent balance, that we're not losing balance, and that we can see that there is a straight line from one arm to the opposite leg and that you're holding your core tight. Then for your crunches, main things I'm looking for is that we're not yanking on the head or neck, that we are keeping some openness beneath the chin and really pressing the lower back into the floor, really working on those upper abs there. Then next up, we've got our side bend. For our side bend, we want to make sure that we're leaning just side to side. We don't want any forward or backward lean on this, so a real simple side to side movement. And your free hand can be at your side, behind your head, or on your hip, doesn't matter. Calf raises, we want to first do a forward-facing calf raise, and control on all of these calf raises is the name of the game. We really want a nice controlled calf raise, the ability to go up onto tiptoe and then come back down gracefully. That's what we want to demonstrate on these. Inward calf raises, same thing, but now we have a narrower base of support, so they can be a little bit more challenging on the balance. And then after you have your inward calf raise, we want to get an outward facing calf raise, toes pointed out, little kind of plie action here. And again, seeing that we can get through our fullest range of motion. And that is how you do your video assessment. Okay, it took me less than 5 minutes to do all of those exercises, all 18 of the level 1 exercises. I highly recommend doing this for yourself. Even if you're not going to show me the video, make sure that you make the video just so that you can see your room for improvement and your improvement over time. And then I will make a separate video on all of the level 2 exercises to let you know if you're ready to move up to level 3. All right, see you on the next one. Bye.